One. We live. Welcome back to Operation Hustle. It's me and the homie today.
Yeah. Boys Podcast Edition.
Bro Day. So if you're ready to get your mind blown, keep watching. We're going to throw a shout out to absfitnesstrainer.com. If you're looking for online training, even in-person personal training in Tampa, Brandon area, check us out. TikTok is Abs Fitness Tampa, Florida. Abs Fitness _ Brandon, Florida is our Instagram. Facebook is Abs Fitness LLC. Torres can throw out his.
Trainer _ Torres on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And we got Abs Fitness Filmhouse for the YouTube.
The YouTube. Dope. So today, you want to give them the topic today, bud?
So we're talking about power, and specifically we're talking about an anecdote that is the Sword of Damocles. So...
Ooh. All right, so you want to break into that story. I know we kind of discussed it a little bit before the podcast, but I think the listeners would get a better idea if you can, break into the story, because I never heard the story until today. It's really dope.
Absolutely.
So break it down for us, bud.
So it's a really interesting story about the pros and cons of power. So essentially, Damocles was a courtier in, I believe, around 400 A.D. In the court of Dionysius II. So this was in Sicily, Italy. Now, one day, basically, Damocles was flattering the king, and he was telling him, you're surrounded by so many riches, you're so wealthy and fortunate, you have an entire kingdom to rule over, you have everything at your fingertips. And Damocles wanted to show, or Dionysius wanted to show Damocles that all the power that he thought he was in love with was not something that could be easily sought after, and had downsides that needed to be thought of as well. And so Dionysius told Damocles, he was like, well, Damocles, I'm going to give you the opportunity to sit on my throne and feel my power and enjoy a moment of reverence. And he told him, tomorrow you're going to be able to sit on this throne. And so he sent Damocles off to go rest in his chambers. And over the night, Dionysius was thinking of a way to allow Damocles to experience the true power of a king. And so what he did was he went to the stables and he plucked a hair off of one of his horses.
Oh, daddy.
Mm-hmm. And what he did was he used this hair, he attached it to the pommel of a sword and hung the sword above the throne. Oh. So when Damocles went into the throne room the next day and sat in the throne, he basically... he was enthralled. He was thrilled by the ability to be the king and have this power and have all the treasures and wealth and women at his disposal.
Yeah, that's dope, man. My man got instant fucking kingery.
And so he's looking around as a king does, surveying his kingdom. And finally he looks up and realizes that there's a sword above him hanging by the thread of a horse. Yeah, by the hair of a horse's tail. And... in the end of the story, Damocles begs the king to get off the throne, so that way he doesn't have to experience that power. And one of the ways that the King Dionysius finished out this anecdote or this lesson for Dionysius or for Damocles was he told him that I have committed many cruelties in my rise to power, so many so that I cannot rule justly without compromising my safety. Yeah. So.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So what I get from that story is power is powerful, and it's maybe not meant for everybody.
Yeah. And it corrupts.
Maybe you can't handle all that pressure, like that small piece of hair holding a heavy sword. At any time it can break and fuck you. And that is what it's like to have true power, I believe. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine, we talked about this a little bit, being the president. All the pressure, all the time. You make one wrong move, the entire country hates you instantly. Yeah. That's a lot to handle for one person.
And something really interesting that I want to tap down on here is that power influxes. It's you don't just get one side of the coin when you pursue power. You get both sides. So if you seek the power to do good in the world, you're also going to inevitably encounter the power to do bad in the world. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's because of the dark, the light exists. So these people that achieve these levels of power, like Dionysius, so what he had to do, Yeah,
that's a baller name.
I'm pretty sure that was the Greek god of wine.
Of course it was.
Dionysius.
He likes to get litty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he probably does.
King Lit.
Yeah, he was drunk as hell hanging that sword up.
Yo, imagine. Yeah, mishap. Sorry. Took the wrong strand of hair.
Yeah, goodbye, Damocles.
Yeah.
But so it's very interesting because the end of the fable ends up with him basically expressing that to become powerful and to have the ability to rule over people and to provide the service of a king to be that good in the world or in the realm of your kingdom, he had to become the evil outside of it, and that's how he developed enemies.
It's really interesting.
It is.
Yeah. So would you guys be able to handle power? Maybe ask yourself at your little dwelling you're in. Would you be able to handle all the pressure of even just say a CEO of a company, not even president level, but you got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of people are affected by the decisions you make, and they may judge you on those, and they may hate you instantly because of the shit that you're saying and the things that you may change, and they may not agree with it, but you got to remember as a leader, you're making a decision for the best of everyone, and you can't base it on one person. It has to be based on the large scale of people normally when it comes to power and controlling, overlooking humans.
Yeah.
So those with small decisions, even the smallest decision, someone may disagree with it and be like, "Fuck this dude," and start like a little revolution with people that are just dogging you. And if you can't take that, it's very difficult to handle.
Absolutely. And that's the light side of the coin, because that's the people under you. Those are the people that you're trying to bring up with you and you're trying to bring wealth to. Now, look at the dark side of the coin here. Are you also able to deal with the fact that you're going to have competition and you're going to be taking food out of your competition's mouth when you put them in the grave? When you put them down.
Wild. It's crazy. Man, power is powerful, people. Can you handle it? I think, what was the dude's name? Dionysius was the king. What was the other guy's name?
Damocles was the courtier.
Damocles. So when the story ended, basically it wrapped up as him not wanting the power.
Exactly.
Instantly. Over one thing over his head. Which is crazy. Because he wanted it so bad. He was up all night. Couldn't sleep. And then he instantly was like, "Yo, take that shit back. I don't want it."
Yeah.
Within seconds.
Everything becomes more intense.
Yeah. Everything becomes more real when you have to deal with all the problems. And I think that's where most people, where if they want to open a business, maybe if they want to take another step in like a manager position in the workplace, these are all things that you maybe want to think about. Can you handle the pressure? Can you handle people talking about you behind your back and to your face? And can you really handle like being a leader? Because decisions always have to be made. And if you're not making them, someone is.
Yeah, and if you can't handle that, there's no problem in accepting that, understanding it, and playing your role properly, because a lot of people are not meant to be in that role, and they're meant to, play some supportive role.
Yeah, 100%.
That's definitely to be respected. That's to be understood. Understand, that's your role, but understand that, the guy at the top, just because he's at the top, doesn't mean his life's easy, and doesn't mean that you should, talk shit.
The guy at the top always has it worse than you do.
Ooh.
Always. They got to make cuts for, even just like health insurance. Like there's things that they have to make cuts on and like tell the employees, and it's not always okay. Everyone is always kind of pissed about it.
Yeah.
But someone has to make the decision to keep the company afloat. Or we'll say, like, if we're talking about a war and basically an army, the army has to take the orders. And someone has to be leading, because if there's no leadership, then there's no direction. And everyone's just fucking doing whatever they want. You're never gonna win. So you have to operate as a team. And I agree with Ali, as there is different levels to a team, and not everyone is meant to be a leader. There is people meant to be A, B, C, D, E, F, even G players in whatever. If it's war, the army, you have your corporals, your blah blah blah. You have a statistics list of people. Same thing in a corporation. You got your CEO, the president, the VP. It goes down the tiers of ladders, and all of those people are needed. Every one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And not everyone is cut out to be the full-on leader.
And they are compensated,
Wow.
correspondingly.
Yeah.
The captain sits at the
For
helm of the
sure.
ship. He gets his own private quarters. He gets
Yep.
the nice meals at the end of the night. But at the end of the day, if the ship goes down, who goes down with it?
Oh, that motherfucker's sinking.
Mm-hmm.
And all the lower end people, they jump quick.
Yeah.
They're not ready to take the sink. And that's what we mean by, like, are you truly ready or are you truly born to be a leader? Not everybody is.
Mm.
It's very difficult. And luckily I have a partner, which is my wife, who is a co-leader, and we lead this business together, and that helps a lot. And I believe we do, each end, we hold up each other's ends, but we both lead as well. So there can be difficult times between even her and I where we disagree on something.
I actually was discussing you two last night with my cousin.
Yeah.
And he surprised me with how adept he was at reading you guys off of like one meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've only met him maybe twice.
Maybe twice. Yeah.
And that's not even full on meetings.
It was like for literally 30 minutes to an hour.
If that, yeah.
Yeah, and he was telling me last night, we came up with the perfect analogy for you too.
Oh, Jesus. Ab, you got to watch this episode.
Uh-oh. So we came up with the analogy that you're like a missile, right? So Justin is the missile. You just fucking sees the target.
That's right.
And goes to attack it.
That's right.
All right?
Yes,
and
sir.
then Abby is the guidance system.
Nice.
So
she's the drone controller.
Yeah, she's adjusting like, okay, this needs, okay, right, a little bit up, a little bit down, okay.
Yeah, I like that. That's true.
Yeah.
Because usually, like, when something happens, we make a decision, I'm like, straight to it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's guiding. Yeah, that does make sense. I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. She's the drone controller.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, though. And I think every leader does need that person.
Definitely.
If you look, the president has a vice president. Do they always do a good job? Are they doing a good job right now? Not really. But there is someone, underneath them to help guide them through the presidency. And it doesn't always work out the best, but they need that person. Because if it was just relying on that one person, it'd be a fucking worse of a nightmare than it is already. Imagine if Joey B had full control by himself right now.
Oh, it would be amazing. It would be amazing.
It would be the new blockbuster of the summer, I think.
We're going to fill our naval ship with candy bars. Milky Way.
Exactly. I don't know. But I think every leader does need a team.
Yeah.
You can't be a leader without a team.
Yeah. Delegation is super important.
Otherwise, who are you fucking leading?
And one of the most, I'd say, integral parts of being a leader is being humble enough to understand that you're not going to know everything, and you do need to delegate to people that are smarter than you in different areas.
Yeah, like, for instance, I have a caveman brain. It doesn't operate fully at all times. But my teammates, like this guy right here, Alejandro, he helps me on the daily. We learn off each other. I don't know everything. I don't know all the training techniques. I don't know all the rehabilitation movements, but we learn and feed off of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And it works well, and that's why we're a good team. So, yes, I'm somewhat of the leader of the team here, but we all incorporate together and build the team together. Yeah. I give you guys just as much responsibility as we have. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to make phone calls. You got to do a bunch of shit that you probably don't want to do. What you doing?
But I think the qualities that you really excel in that make you such a good leader are essentially like that get up and go spirit. So a leader, like, they make, at the end of the day, they're responsible for the decisions, and they're responsible for the attitude which is implemented when you're attacking those decisions. So the fact that you have such a go-getter mentality, and you are like, you see it and you attack it no matter what.
You have to.
Exactly.
You can't hesitate. And I was listening to Jocko probably a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about this and how he became a leader. They were doing some sort of drill, and it was a live drill. They were fucking waiting on orders, waiting, and all of a sudden he's like, I look around, and he's like, I just called the order out. He's like, we're moving. They all move. They make the move. After the simulation was over, the head guy pulled him to the side, and he's like, you're now the leader.
Yeah.
He basically told him, like, this is what we needed. This is what we wanted. We need someone to step up and make a fucking call.
Yeah.
And he was the guy. And he's like, ever since then, he's like, then I just started like making calls. And before that, he would remain silent and wait for a call. But he literally broke out into that leadership role because he was looking around. He's like, what the fuck are we hesitating for? Let's go. Yeah. And they went. And, you know, he became who he is. Probably partially because of that moment.
He dictated the pace.
And he just made it fucking happen.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't gonna sit here and die.
And sometimes
we're going.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love. Like, I will literally... One of my favorite parts about having an in-depth conversation with Justin is I'll literally go on a tangent for like 5 to 10 minutes where I'm like breaking down all the intricacies, like, oh, this is the philosophical, you know, lead-in and end point. And then he'll just say at the end of it, like, you know, hard work pays off.
That's it. Keep it simple, stupid. Sometimes you get very vocabulary-esque. See, I don't even know how to say things.
Verbose.
But I find for myself, if I keep it simple, it's just easier for me to understand and easier for me to like operate.
It makes sense.
If you start dancing around with these fancy words, I'm like, I get confused a little bit. I don't really know what's going on, so I simplify it in my brain.
We had a moment at the end of our last podcast where you just said pain and gain at the end of it.
That's it.
And I was like,
literally,
can't say it better.
I like very simple quotes. I like simple things. I'm a simple man. But I think small quotes can mean a lot, right? 3 words can mean a million. And that's, I think, the way that my brain thinks. Is I can't really comprehend certain things if I don't know what they are.
Simplicity is efficiency.
Yeah. I like it. So, when it comes to leadership, Ali, do you think that you can handle a leadership role?
I'm on my way. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
But I'm on my way.
What do you think you're missing?
Real life experience test.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Like, I need to be battle tested. That's why I think...
In-field testing, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah. Because I recognize that there are parts of myself that still lie under a veil. So to uncover those parts and be confident in myself within a leadership role, that's why I think fighting and specifically getting my first fight out of the way is so important to me, because I realize that there are parts of me.
Bro. I need it because I need to see this shit. I've been waiting, bro. Forever.
I know, me too.
I think this is part of the test, right? This is part of your test with the fighting world.
Mm-hmm.
How long can Ali stand training and not really fighting?
Yeah.
And maybe this is now your point in time where you step up and you say, "Motherfucker, give me a fight," which I know you already did.
Mm-hmm.
Got taken from you. But if you keep up with that attitude, I think eventually it will happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's bound to. It better fucking happen.
And if I just keep consistent,
you don't train for nothing.
Yeah.
Right? You train to win.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't losing. So it's just a matter of like, when is it going to happen? And now more than ever, I think you're going to be a lot more ready.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was 2 months ago. And even from then, just watching your skills just on the back. I don't watch you at practice, but they have sharpened up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the balance.
Big
and
time.
maybe your thing was maybe you weren't meant to fight at that time.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it all kind of every way that the world turns, you can find the positive in. Yeah. So I think that the way that this kind of worked out, the more I get to delay this and the more I get to put off, actually having my first fight, the better I look when I first enter into the scene, because I'm gonna look like a phenom.
Dude, they're gonna be like, this amateur Alejandro, and like, this motherfucker's been fighting for years.
Little do they know, 4 years. I got 4 years experience.
Yeah, you're more prepared than the amateur you're probably gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
Amateur just got in. He's trained for 3 months. Alejandro's got 4 years on this motherfucker, and he's gonna go and work him. I hope.
I've loaded the deck.
I know you will. Exactly, but it's a good thing. It's probably very frustrating, waiting for this fight.
Yeah.
So, when you get to the fight, what do you think the outcome's going to be?
To win. To dub.
How? What were we calling it? Are we calling exact knockout punch? Are we calling because you can't submit in this, right? This is all striking.
It's all striking.
Muay Thai. Yeah, I mean, you know best. What do you want to win with? Or do you just want a win? Doesn't matter how you win it. You just want the win for sure. Like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's a knockout, if it's points. You're focused on winning.
I want something. I'm always chasing something unrealistic. So I'm chasing perfection.
Okay.
So, I would prefer a fight where they've actually, have some form of comparable level of training.
Yep.
I would actually prefer it to be a dog fight to a degree.
Would you deny a fight if you knew the other man or thing, I don't know how this works anymore, you're fighting isn't up to par? Would you deny the fight if you knew, like, hey, this guy's not ready for this?
No.
You take it anyway.
No, he's got the ball standing into the ring. That's respect in my book right off the bat.
Because I would think denying a fight is actually disrespectful.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then it's a lesson from there. So, I might play around with him a little bit, but I'm definitely going to whoop his ass at the end of the night.
I like it.
So, it's just a hard lesson.
Now, when it comes to leadership in your fight gym, how does that work? Because it is it's an individual sport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you, I know there's trainers, right? And there's probably the head team coach.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do? Is he a fighter or is he just training you guys?
So, our head coach is Dato. Dato is a Georgian, he's a retired fighter. He has over 150 fights under his belt.
God damn, bro. Does his brain still operate?
Oh, yeah, very high
Pretty
level.
well?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, when he fought, did he use all headgear? Like, you guys use headgear in the fights or you don't?
No, he went pro. At a certain level, you don't use headgear. So you use headgear is optional at amateur level, but shin guards, elbow pads, and gloves are not optional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always have to wear them, even pro level Muay Thai.
No, only amateur. Once you hit pro level, there's nothing.
Well, there's
bone on bone. Gloves, yeah, gloves.
That's it though. Like you can elbow, you can knee, you can pretty much. Can you headbutt?
No, in Lethway. Lethway is
Can we let this happen, guys? Can we let this happen?
Lethway is actually the cousin to Muay Thai. So
Lethway. Interesting. Where does this originate from?
So it originates from the neighboring country to Thailand. I can't remember the name of the country itself.
But a similar style, just more headbutts are allowed.
Exactly.
So that's the only difference.
Pretty much.
Is you can skull fuck.
Well. There are a couple differences. So headbutts are allowed.
Okay.
They don't wear gloves, I'm pretty sure. And
no gloves.
It's 2 knockouts to win.
2 knockouts?
So they knock a dude out. He gets up, and then for 5 minutes he gets to recover. And then they go ahead and knock him out.
They let him recover.
For 5 minutes.
Yo. Maybe we should switch. Maybe that's the calling. That's full on death. That's a little extreme.
SCT.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Yeah, fighting after you just got knocked out.
I can't believe they actually let that happen. I mean, you can do whatever you want, right?
It's the world, man. These are animals.
Bro, that's fucking crazy. There is bare knuckle brawling too, which I haven't really watched a lot of it, but it seems really intense.
Yeah.
I would assume there's deaths.
You essentially are you're taking fucking tiny bones and cutting someone's face.
Yeah, bro. If you hit me with that hand, I'd be dead.
Just cuts.
Yeah, no,
Lots
death.
of cuts.
Yeah, broken bones, fucking battered up, blood everywhere. That's insane. I've also seen a weird. I know we're getting off on a tangent, but I have also seen this weird. It's like wrestling, but they use weapons, and this is in China or something. I had a guy that I worked with. He was a little weird. Lived in his mom's basement.
It's not Eskrima, is it?
30 years old. No, so they literally take light bulbs, those big fucking huge light bulbs.
Gosh.
Bro, they literally smack each other with them. Wow.
I've seen this on McDojo.
And they explode, bro, and then they're bleeding and they slam each other in them, bro.
I know.
It's pretty wild.
It's
I don't understand it. It's
all of
dumb.
These people are getting mercury poisoning. Just so you know, if you're slamming fucking fluorescent light bulb tubes against your head, they have chemicals in there that are gonna poison you over time.
It's probably not great.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get cancer.
But yeah, I was like, holy shit, this is real.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's a shit ton of different fighting styles, and fight like it's crazy.
Yeah, mercury eaters.
Yeah, the mercury.
The mercury eaters.
You got the bum fights. There used to be a thing on YouTube that's probably illegal, but you could probably still find it. I used to watch it gladly. They pay 2 bums, broke as a joke, to fight each other.
Yeah.
And the winner gets the money.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure
modern-day
they had money.
gladiators.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was money. Modern day gladiator. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, a bummiator.
Yeah, bummiator. Yes, I love it. But yeah, they were very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure them guys are getting all sorts of lawsuits now. The guys that ran the channel.
I don't know. I feel like if you like from 90s to 2000s, you kind of got away with it. Like you skirted under.
Yeah, well, so that's where Jackass came in, and I was talking to someone about this the other night. Like, I was like into Jackass. Like, we would do this shit, we would mimic it. Of course, it says don't do this at home, and
Who's
of course,
listening to that?
fucking 14-year-old Justin get in a shopping cart, run down the fucking the side of the parking lot, and fall out. Not fun. They made it look fun, but we did it. We were stupid as fuck, and we mimicked it. But there was, I think, a time where you can get away with shit like that, where you can just like go and run pranks all over town and somewhat get away with it and not catch a lawsuit about it. Now it's lawsuit.
You know, it's kind of interesting. So I understand like the legal system has definitely taken a shift towards like, the support of pussyitis.
That poopy pants mentality.
Yeah, just fucking being a pussy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like a lot of these guys are still doing it, and they get away with it because they have good frame.
Yeah. I mean, Jackass just made another movie.
Frame. It's all frame. It's like, I'm gonna do this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you pretty much you do it, you deal with the repercussions, and you just continue to do it.
Yeah.
And say fuck it. Because a lot of these people that I've noticed that have become, wealthy or famous over videos, they take very extreme risks, and they will catch lawsuits, and they don't give a fuck because they are going to make money eventually.
Listen,
doing these extreme things.
It's the sword of Damocles all over again.
Yeah, literally.
You want it, guess what?
Yeah.
You have the risk of lawsuit.
Yeah, it's perfect. It ties right in with it. And it is true. The more risk you take, like there's Mr. Beast. I know a lot of you probably have heard of this guy on YouTube. He's the biggest YouTuber of all time. This dude makes like fucking, he'll say, we'll make $3 million on one video. He spends that $3 million as soon as he gets it on the next video. You're no profit.
Yeah.
He spends it and he keeps respending. He keeps taking huge risks.
Yeah.
But every time it pays off.
He literally replicated Squid Games.
Yeah, and now he's doing Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Yeah. And I really want to see that one because he goes all out. Like he's spending shit ton of money. And it's pretty cool. And he has like a good cause for all of this as well. Like he really wants to build homeless shelters and help, the fucking poor people that can't eat in this country.
Yeah.
In this country. Yeah. Our country. Where we need help.
Mm-hmm.
Not sending out money to other countries for no fucking reason. Like we have people here that need plenty of fucking help.
Yeah.
Plenty.
He's found an intense balance between the light and the dark. So like the light or the pro of all this is like, oh, he gets all this money to make a really awesome video. Yeah. The con is, what if it totally flops and now you're out of money?
Yeah. I mean, this guy could literally, with all the money that he's made, he could have taken 3 videos worth of money and just disappeared and said, fuck it, I'm done. Because he could be extremely rich, but he chooses not to because first off, it seems like he truly enjoys making the videos. And second off, it's a challenge. I think he likes the challenge of making the videos and trying to make them better and better and better. And I also think he does like the drama that he causes with Netflix and anybody else who fucking denies him. And I think he gets like off on them telling him like, we don't want you. And he says, fuck you, I'm going to pay for this. And I'm going to make it better than you did, bitch. And it's fucking baller. I love it. Mr. Beast is the man.
No, it's awesome. And honestly, like...
He's a great leader. He's got a team of, like, little hood rats that he leads around and makes these crazy fucking baller videos. And probably during high school, if you knew this dude, I don't know him, but he was probably a nerd. People may have made fun of him because that's all he did was make YouTube videos.
I'm pretty sure you told me a story about how like he was like skipping out on high school and like his mom was mad.
Dude, his mom got mad and she's like, "You're not gonna do anything with this. You're gonna lose out on life." And he ends up fucking becoming the best YouTuber of all time.
Yeah, because that's all he did was he was obsessed with it. Right?
He studied on basically the algorithm. He studied on thumbnails, which are like the clickbaits, like the headline of the video. And it was like him and like I think it's like 6 or 8 other people that literally spent, I think it was a whole year. It was like 12 hours every day just studying YouTube algorithms. And they did it so much that by the end of it, they literally learned, like, okay, these are the videos that we need to make. And then they did it, and it worked. And every one of those guys, he said, is super successful on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's because they hyper-focused on a certain thing, they learned how it worked, and then they fucking took off, and they went, all right, it works.
So here's what I really love about that story from like the point of view of the juxtaposition between light and dark, because there is a mindset associated with what his mom wanted him to do. And he didn't have that mindset, which, you know, thankfully he didn't. Like, I love his content too. I really enjoyed the replication of the Squid Games.
Yeah, he's great,
really
dude.
cool.
It was really fucking good.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, seriously go check it out. I'll give him views because he deserves them.
Okay.
And that video was super sick. Like, the amount of special effects and shit that they used in YouTube is crazy.
Oh yeah, but like what I love is he didn't take the standard mindset, which is really actually fucked. If you think about it, like it's okay if you understand your role in society and you understand that your role is like you're not really looking to achieve a lot of wealth, you're not looking to achieve a really great retirement plan or leave your kids with a bunch of wealth. Like it's okay to understand that that's the direction you're going. But I really feel like our education system fails so many people because it overpromises and underdelivers. You know, the modern education system, look at the high school level stuff. They never teach you about the shit that matters, the shit that's actually going to get you moving forward in life. They don't teach you how to manage your money. They don't teach you how to make your money grow. They don't teach you how to like operate a business or how to like think critically in these moments where you're going to have to adapt and make adjustments to situations.
Yeah. They teach you how to take more school.
They teach you about photosynthesis, right? They teach you about like, there's chlorophyll in plants. Like, this is what makes them green. Why do I need to know that? Why do I know that right now? It's not helped me at all.
Look what you retained, sir. Some bullshit.
Exactly. And then you go to college to get a degree that every other motherfucker's going to have and that no job actually even looks at, and most people don't use their degrees anyways.
No, they teach you how to create debt.
Exactly. And they subsidize it, and then you are not allowed
how to fucking create debt.
But worse than
Insane,
that, you can't declare bankruptcy on student loans.
Yeah, no. You can't do shit on a student loan. They fuck you every which way.
Yeah.
Thank God I dropped out of college, kids. You hear this? I dropped out, and I'm successful. You don't need it. If you do get a college degree, I'm not saying that it's useless. I'm just saying I found no use with it.
Biggest scam in the 21st century. I don't care. I'm gonna say it right now. Biggest scam in the 21st century.
I can tell you, I know a lot of people that are my age that are struggling right now because of their student debt, and because they have to pay back so much interest. Because it's not just the debt, right? They say a $50,000 debt, but you're really looking at like 70, bro. With their interest rate and the amount of time it's gonna take you to fucking pay the stupid thing off, and a lot of people don't even use them.
Yeah.
And if they are, unfortunately, the job that they get maybe not be what they really wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
So what I would say to the youth, the children that are listening to this shit, take your time after high school to really figure out what you want to do. Because I believe at 18 years old, no one knows what they truly want to do. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I truly want to do, and I'm fucking 30, about to be 32.
Oh, yeah.
My mind always changes. But I think they make it very hard for someone to get out of high school and not make that decision to go to college. It was so pushed when I got out of high school, it was insane. If I told, like, say my friend
that's
group,
what everyone expected you to do.
Where are you going? Well, I'm not. And they'd be like, well, what are you going to do? What do you mean? And they were all pushed so hard to do it, and now look at them.
Exactly. I tell you what I did. I didn't allow my schooling to dictate my education. We live in a modern world where everything you fucking want to know is at your fingertips. It's in this little iPad. Yeah. It's on your phone. You can learn. Yeah.
It's insane. So I'll tell you what I've learned from this alone. By myself. No, I didn't pay anyone to fucking learn any of this shit. I learned how to play guitar fairly well. I'm not great, but I can play. That's spin your eye.
No. Dust.
I've also learned how to do all these videos, like the video you're doing now, we're watching now. I've learned how to do this through YouTube. Mostly a lot of the stuff is YouTube. I'll look up and research stuff too, but a lot of it is YouTube. I've learned how to fly drones on YouTube. I've learned how to cook meals on YouTube. I mean,
you've learned how to work out.
Yeah, workout on YouTube.
How to start and like influence a business.
Yeah, literally, it's so crazy how much shit you can learn, and it's stuff that you want to learn. That's what I really like about it. Because when I went to school, it was like, you're going to go to this class, that class, this class. Now I have all the classes that I want, and I put them right here. I say, boom, that's what I'm going to learn today.
Yeah. Think about why colleges were implemented in the first place. Colleges were implemented in the first place because they needed a hub for education in which you could access resources that the average person or the average, household or whatnot did not have access to. Exactly. They had all the books, had all the volumes, had all the educators in line to teach you things that you needed to know.
Very true.
That's not the
that's
the
gone
case.
now. We got
that's
that
not
shit,
the
right?
case.
Yeah.
They no longer have their and they developed a pedigree and they developed a level of recognition within our society because they were able to provide that for such a long time.
Yeah.
All right, and now they're recognized because they pump out quality people that understand these things. Now the information market is flooded. You don't need these fuck faces.
Yeah, now though, the problem that I see right now is there's almost too much information, and that is what is becoming the problem: is who's a credible source and who isn't. And that's really where it is hard to dictate. But that's why I do like to watch YouTube, because YouTube, you actually can see it. And these people who are creating this shit, they're the ones creating it. They know what they're talking about, at least enough for me to watch the video, because I continue watching it.
Yeah.
And if I read, say, a forum, I don't really know, because it's some person behind a keyboard. It can be a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
I feel like with the YouTube thing, they actually have to put in the effort to make the video, which means they actually care about what they're fucking talking about. And they actually have to put the effort into, like, buying the equipment to make all this shit.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, then I don't really look at them such as a credible source.
Yeah. And on top of that, as far as whenever it comes to credibility, you're a human being. You're an apex predator.
Yeah.
We're the most adaptable creatures on this planet. All right?
Sure.
Try the shit out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
On top of that, there are levels of assessment. So one of the biggest skills that I think you can develop in our modern society, where this information is so consistently flowing, and there's a lot of bullshit, a lot of garbage, is you have to cultivate your online presence. So you have to, there are algorithms, and if you understand how to dictate, exactly, you have to make sure. Don't click on kittens.
Yeah,
don't click on the bullshit.
You click on them kittens.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to see, baby.
Click on secrets to success. Click on Machiavelli, difference between love and fear and power.
Yeah.
Click on what you actually want to progress towards.
Yeah. And that is another problem too with TikTok and all these apps, is there's a lot of mindless shit on there. I love comedy, I love stupid shit, but I can't waste too much time on it. And I will.
It will steal your time. It'll keep you
Well, that
broke.
is the problem. Is there, my brain, I have lizard brain, we call this. I think we should make a t-shirt. What do you think? Would you guys wear it? Lizard brain? Maybe a picture of me and Alejandro on it.
Yeah, we're just doing dumb shit.
We'll just be morphed into one lizard. I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, see, that's how much lizard brain I have. I literally forgot what I was fucking talking about.
You talking about lizard brain?
Yeah, lizard. Literally, this is how fucking lizard brain works, bro.
You're talking about basically
what
you click
getting
on.
off task. Here we go. Say if I'm on TikTok, dude, and I see some guy fucking doing a prank to his girlfriend, dumping water all over her fucking head. Then I go into the wormhole of, oh shit, I want to watch some more of these pranks.
How do I do this to Abby?
Yes, exactly. So I want to watch more of these pranks. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing I know, I'm fucking 10 minutes deep in nothing. I learned zero.
Yeah.
I laughed. I got a little fun out of it, but I wasted the fucking time.
Yeah, but understanding how to critically analyze those moments, because I think there is a positive spin that you can take and apply to almost any situation.
Yeah.
You can still analyze their social cues, their level of play, intimacy, and you can implement that in your own life. So that is inspiring in its own way. It's just you need to understand how to actually pull the value out of it.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
And take it in doses.
Yes. Doses.
And I've noticed a lot of people just watch. No creator. TikTok. They have a profile. They don't make videos. They only observe. And if you're only observing, there's nothing wrong with that. But what are you really observing? And what are you retaining?
Yeah.
Because if you're just on this app, just wasting fucking mindless time, maybe you should use your time a little better.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Because there's 24 hours a day. There's 7 days a week. It's 168 hours a week you get. 8 of them a day are spent on sleep. If you're good at sleep, which no one I think is getting 8 hours anymore.
No.
I think it's about 6 is probably the average. So you got to say 6 times 7 is 56, right? So that's 56 hours off of your 68. That leaves you with a little bit over 100 hours. We do another 40 for work. Okay, you're down to like 90 or 50 hours, right? What are you doing with those 50 hours?
And you could probably take, so there are 7 days, and you're going to need at least 2 hours a day to do like your daily maintenance and like, just cleaning the house and doing chores and bullshit like that. So then on top of that, you
so
put...
that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 more hours. Okay, you're still left with a lot of fucking
now you have
hours.
36 hours.
Still a lot of hours.
All right. Now, let's say that you spend 10 of those hours on TikTok. You have 16 hours. 16 hours to do what?
And you already wasted 10 on TikTok.
You're probably going to spend another 10 hanging out with your friends. Now you got 6 hours.
Talking about TikTok.
Yeah. Now you got 6 hours to like make a difference in your life. And it doesn't matter anymore because you're just going to probably shit those away too because you already shit away the rest.
Unfortunately. But this is a good point that I like to bring up to clients in my gym. How many hours are you fucking wasting on nothing? Literally nothing. Mm-hmm. And instead of wasting them, like, I'm not saying you have to work out for all those hours. Like, find 3 hours a week to get a decent little program together. 3 hours. That's nothing. All you have to do is literally set your alarm 15 minutes before you wake up, and you gain that 3 hours by the end of the week. Right? 2 days is a half hour. 2 days is a half hour. That's 1 hour. That's 3 hours by the end of the week. You just gained by waking up 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah. And
you can't tell me you can't find 3 hours a week to fucking work out.
Yeah.
3 hours, and that's minimum.
Every time you sit down and watch TV, every time a commercial comes on, work out.
Yeah. Or you don't have to. It's not always about working out, right? Learn something. And if you're watching bullshit, Real Housewives garbage, put on something educational.
Yeah. The thing is,
learn something.
If you're watching this podcast, you want to change your life somehow.
And if you're still watching, I thank you because this has been a decent podcast. I think we're over a half hour. I'm glad you guys are still watching.
Yes.
We're just shooting the shit. We're having fun. It's a good time. Next time we might even get a little weed in here or something. Get it fancy.
Yeah.
Well, Ollie can watch me.
That'll be for you. Yeah. I'm on my sober kick.
Ollie is done.
It keeps me aggressive.
I like it.
If I smoke, I'm not aggressive, and I don't like that.
Welcome. I would say we could wrap it up on that, to be honest. I think it was a decent podcast. I think we did good.
Yeah.
Audience, what do you think? Tell us in the comments below. I think for wrap up, we kind of maybe, do you want to give a quote? Do you want to give a saying? Do we want to just tell them our socials?
I actually think a little comment section prize would be pretty cool. What do you think about, we hold ourselves accountable.
Dope.
And we hold you accountable.
Dope.
Because I want to see some comments in that section. All right, and if we're gonna pick at random, we're gonna put whoever left comments. We're gonna put your name on a little spinny wheel or a randomized generator on our phone. All right, and we're gonna pick one person to get one of those lizard brain shirts out to.
Yo, the lizard brain. So if you want a lizard brain shirt, comment below. Let's say, give us an idea for our next episode. What would you guys want to hear? What would you guys want us to talk about? And us to shoot the shit about for an hour of wasted time. Yeah. But it's not wasted if you're learning, and I hope you learned something today. Other than that, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Adios.